police
Yeah,
services.
and speaking of General Mkhwanazi, have you buried the hatchet with him? I know you were unhappy about what he said about your relations with General Khan. What exactly were you unhappy about regarding the statement he made?
You know, Mkhwanazi, firstly, he's very sensitive. He thinks he can't be criticized, or anyone must say anything good about any other police officer except himself. And that has got nothing to do with what he has presented. I will deal with those facts when it comes to the ad hoc committee. I'll participate objectively, and that's me. I don't care about who thinks what about me. I deal with the truth. He goes to Madlanga Commission. He speaks about General Khan. And he says to Madlanga Commission, you remember General Khan is that one who attended a dinner of the EFF. He just throws the EFF into the space where it's not necessary. General Khan he doesn't need a definition of the EFF. It's General Khan who's employed in SAPS, and this is his level. He says he exonerated him because he's a good police officer. If anything, the police should have given Khan an award for doing what he did when he stopped some corrupt police from stealing drugs. Then he goes to the ad hoc committee. He speaks very badly of me, and I'm not there. I'm mourning. I've got a funeral at home. I've taken leave of absence to go and attend to the funeral at home. I'm not at the ad hoc committee. He says the things about me which he didn't say when I was there. He says, yeah, some of you MPs here, because that's how he speaks. He speaks us in a very condescending manner, like he's some boss of ours. We will not be pushed around by a police officer. We have not broken the law. The only time a police officer must do that to us is when we have broken the law. Some of you here are praising Sintumule, that Sintumule can be a national commissioner. She can be. She's highly qualified. And I never said she must be. I said, look at your credentials. They get destroyed by a spur of a moment because you interacted with a criminal. And all of that work you did in the police gets destroyed. But if we're to look for a female a national commissioner, you stand a very good chance, but you messed it up by entangling yourself with criminals. That I spoke good about Sintumule, and that Sintumule can be a national commissioner and not him. That is an offense. Because if you don't speak about him as a national commissioner, he takes offense about that. And he says, yeah, Malema, who is known, Khan who's very known to Julius Malema and all of that. But he doesn't tell how, and he says, I met Malema through Khan. He doesn't tell how he met me. He called, I went, and if we had the media with research capacity in South Africa, you should be playing that clip. I went to a rally in KZN. I criticized him about AKA's matter. I said, Mkhwanazi, before he did this July thing, our favorite provincial commissioner, I love him so much, but I'm beginning to have doubts because he's not making a move on AKA's case, where a killer kills such a high-profile person in front of a camera, and we can't find that person. That makes mockery of the whole policing system in South Africa. Sensitive Mkhwanazi couldn't take that criticism. He called Khan and asked for a meeting with me. And Khan called me. Khan is well known. Khan is a comrade, well known to me. I knew him from the ANC time. In as much as I know so many of all of them, I'm not an arrivalist in the national politics. I know a lot of people. Khan says, no, there is this guy who is asking to see you. And then I said, okay, that's fine. If you are comfortable and you know him, you can come and we meet. He comes with Khan. Viane Pambu was there. Viane received them into the meeting. And that's when he gave me a brief about AK's case. And said the guys are arrested. But they're not arrested because of AKA's case. They are arrested about something else. I'm just at the tail end of finishing the evidence on AKA's matter. Then I'm going to charge them with AKA's matter. But I would not reveal it, because if I reveal it, Begitele is going to tamper with this evidence and mess up this case.
So just
of AKA.
To clarify then, he's the one that contacted Khan, because I listened to that clip again this morning. The suggestion he makes is Khan, for some reason, you asked Khan then to arrange a meeting with him, and he said in that clip, we didn't need Khan to arrange this meeting. You could have just contacted him directly.
I didn't want anything. I called him for a meeting for what? I didn't want anything from him.
Mm.
What did he? Why? When I called him, he must say I called Khan to call him because of what?
Mm.
You know, I once said in a press conference, Masemola, General Masemola can't send an email. He can't type. He's got no capacity. He can't send an email. I was told by Mkhwanazi in that meeting that Masemola can't write an email.
Mm.
Yeah, he told me that in that meeting. You can ask Khan about it. You can ask Vianney about it. And that's when I was confident to say it in public, because it came from a credible corp that the National Commissioner doesn't know how to send an email, and he has surrounded himself with female generals because he's scared of male generals who are going to challenge him because he's got no capacity. And I said that. I repeated that in public in confidence because I was told by
him. There are people who've characterized.
Well, guys, right now, we need to be careful of a trend that's been existing in black nationalist politics since 1994. That is the element of blind followership. Blind followership is something that's going to destroy black nationalist politics. And you see this guy here. This guy, whether you like it or not, he has built the EFF into what it is today. Give him his flowers. But truth be spoken, this guy here, himself, he's going to be the one who's going to destroy what he has built. And he's going to destroy it because of his very strong authoritative stance that sometimes borders on dictatorship. This guy will destroy the EFF. And I'll tell you, blind followership has been has been an element of black politics, even from the ANC. You go back a little bit into 1998, 1999, the first major scandal in the ANC, besides the arms deal. There was one before the arms deal, which was then revolving around the Mpondo Princess, who was the Minister of Public Enterprises, Stella Sigcawu, where Bantu Holomisa had presented. Remember, Bantu Holomisa was an ANC member. He had presented a dossier full of information which revealed that Stella Sigcawu had received bribes from a prominent businessman. I understand he was Sol Kesner, the hotel mogul who owned Sun International before it became Zohosan. Yeah, so Kesner apparently at the time had bribed Stella Sigcawu. But in the ANC at the time, they preferred Bantu Holomisa to keep quiet on the matter. And Bantu broke ranks and he created the UDN. The second time of blind followership comes when Jacob Zuma was elected in 2007, 2008 in Polokwane and subsequently became the president of the country. When the man was the president of the country, he was popular in the ANC and even in the country. From the lowest Cohen man, Jacob Zuma was popular. But the man was brought into office with over 900 cases of corruption. And had you spoken against that, you were called out. Again, we are seeing this element happening in the EFF, where indirectly or directly, no matter how you want to look at it, the Police Commissioner of KZN, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, had made allegations that Julius Malema is linked to 6 security companies that wanted to benefit from procurement or tenders. Many of the EFF members have come out in blazing attacking Mkhwanazi. It seems Mkhwanazi was their favorite when he was against everyone. Everything changed when Mkhwanazi now started to say, even EFF leader Julius Malema might not be so clean. Then everything about Mkhwanazi now is very wrong. But before that, everything about Mkhwanazi was so right. Look at this. This here is Naledi Chirwa. Okay? Here she is holding a placard that says, hands off Mkhwanazi. This time is when Mkhwanazi was the darling of everyone in the EFF. But right now things have changed. Let me show you the response that Naledi Chirwa made. So here is a response by Naledi Chirwa to Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi had made a tweet saying that whistleblowers need to be protected at all times. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi didn't mention Julius Malema in his tweets. He didn't make any inclination of Julius Malema, but Naledi Chirwa caught feelings. Naledi Chirwa didn't respond to what Ndlozi said, but she responded to what she felt about Ndlozi's tweet. This is what Naledi Chirwa said. She said, kudala waba yiphixi wena. I hope I'm saying it right. Kudala waba yiphixi wena. What was so hard for Mkhwanazi to expose all the way through, including things that involve him? Why didn't he say that he is the one who asked to meet President Malema? Why didn't he expose that he provided information about AKA's killers to President Malema? You don't want the truth in Mbuyiseni. You are a bloody coward hiding your disdain and bitterness. Mkhwanazi must expose the whole truth and not protect himself in the process. He's not God and can be corrected where he omits crucial information. Asidlalila. Well, fact. Yeah, Naledi Chirwa is right here, and Mkhwanazi is not God, and Mkhwanazi can make mistakes. But this was not the wisest way or the clever way to respond to whatever is happening. Because right now, we are not talking about Mkhwanazi providing information to Malema regarding AKA's killers. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Malema is a public official. He can request a briefing from security personnel regarding one matter or another. You get my point? Just as members of parliament, they do have the right to go and inspect in a municipality or a government institution where they have reasonable reason to go and inspect. So they can go into that. Right now, what Naledi Chirwa here was doing was deflection. She didn't even go into the allegations that were put before Malema, that Malema has 6 security companies that are linked to him directly and indirectly, and they wanted to benefit from procurement. To say that Malema wanted to benefit from tenders in a very wrong way. She's not even addressing that. She's attacking someone who clearly saying we must protect whistleblowers. And Naledi Chirwa, she must be held into account. I mean, the myth about Naledi Chirwa needs to be broken, because Naledi Chirwa right now, we know her to be someone who doesn't like Jacob Zuma. Naledi Chirwa, in her eyes, when she sees Jacob Zuma, she sees a rapist. But whenever Julius and Jacob are drinking tea, Naledi is quiet. Naledi is quiet. So this is a pure example of blind followership. That the way you love your leader so much that even when he's wrong, you stand out to defend him. These are the politics that are going to destroy us as black people, because they're destroying the little bit of credibility that is left there. When a leader is wrong, the leader is wrong, and the political party should act against that leader. You get my point? And I mean, look at another response from an EFF member. This one is truly sickening. Just hold on, look at this one. Okay, this one was from an EFF member. She says, "We must never relent, fighters, never. We must always defend CIC against every accusation and attack, both perceived and real. Defending our leader is more important than facts." I'll read this again. Defending our leader is more important than facts. I don't care if he's guilty. I don't care if there's reasonable suspicion on his doing. We must still defend him above all acts. Facts are optional. I mean, this is blind followership, guys. This is blind followership, because if Malema is president and he makes a wrong decision, therefore it means we must just keep quiet and follow him because he's Malema. He was born right and impartial. He can never be wrong. These are the things that are going to destroy our democracy. And I'm going to put this even to me. I had voted EFF in the 2019 election and the previous 2024 elections. I voted EFF. And I voted for it because of its stance when it comes to black dignity. That stance of it, defending black dignity and empowering black people, will forever remain seductive for me. But that does not mean if the party is out of line or if the leader is wrong, I must continue to follow him. That alone will undermine the stance of EFF defending black dignity. Because just because we are black doesn't mean we must defend nonsense. Just because we are black doesn't mean we must defend things that are wrong. That means that our blackness is worth nothing. And if we are going to do it like that, we don't deserve any respect from anyone in the world, because clearly we wouldn't be respecting ourselves. So this is blind followership that we must always at all times attack. Surely Mkhwanazi got there and presented facts. If there are facts, they needed to be taken ahead. But right now, Mkhwanazi is no longer the darling in the eyes of the EFF, simply because right now what Mkhwanazi said is no longer convenient for them. That's not how it works. That commission is not there on the convenience of the EFF. Truth must be spoken, and if the EFF is going to continue like this, or if it's adopting this stance, then therefore we must not vote for the EFF. I will actually stand out and decampaign the EFF, because at heart I'm a true South African. South Africa comes first before any political party. And if any political party seems to direct South Africa in a wrong way, I will always call it against, and I expect all patriots to do the same. I don't know, guys. What is your comment about this in the comment section? Let's continue the conversation regarding.
Hayi ndihambelwe kwe-fighters namhlanje. Awujuju ubhudile umxholo. ubhudile umhlola ngo Saturday ngomgqibelo. Hayi. Imshiyile le ka Mkhwanazi. Why uJuju ezawuattacka uMkhwanazi? uJulius was not even there kwi-ad hoc committee ngalamini. Thina abantu bebesibukele. The narrative was never about Julius Malema. Mkhwanazi was explaining about General Khan, who is boasting ngoba yena he walks around with big people. And before he talks about the EFF okanye Julius, uqale wathetha nge-ANC Mkhwanazi indoba every time Khan he's boasting that he will be knocking every door in Luthuli House. Mkhwanazi even mentioned that he knows many people here in the ad hoc and even in parliament. That's how General Khan was boasting to Mkhwanazi. And Mkhwanazi was amazed that Khan imali ngako ithathapi. He even further went to say, he even boasted about the EFF meeting and knowing the EFF. Then he explained to Mkhwanazi, but look, even myself, I met Julius Malema through Khan. So in don't elements umsindo Julius Malema because Mkhwanazi never mentioned any wrong thing okanye any implications, but he was explaining the arrogance, the pompousness ka General Khan ozenza mkhulu kuba edibana ne politicians. I assume Julius he should have been attacking iMadlanga Commission because oyena mntu mention Julius Malema gulatsotsi we general Nkosi. He's not even a general, a sergeant Nkosi, where he was communicating the issue yet tenders zaseTshwane with the CFO into kokuba these companies lonke retriever kwi-text zakhe kuconfirmiwe na ku-CIC that they are all the companies aligned to the EFF. So then Charles Kalsin uyabuza uba who's the CIC, and the CIC is Julius Malema. What does tenders have to do with the companies is aligned with Julius Malema? That's where his name was mentioned negatively. But nango yotsibela uMkhwanazi esingamazi uba utheni uMkhwanazi ngaye, because in the ad hoc committee there's nothing Mkhwanazi mentioned wrong about Julius Malema that warrants Julius Malema to say Mkhwanazi they are not afraid of him, they are not scared, they are not his ball boy. What does that mean? I'm Mushabi fighters can get his interrogate man. Niphinde niyozibukela za clip zika Mkhwanazi ni comparison nalamsindo walandoda. Ikhona ingxaki Mkhwanazi, you are in the right track. We are supporting General Mkhwanazi. Dango.
Hello Mzansi, welcome to Mgosi waseMzansi. uJulius Malema uyaphendula ukuthi why akhulume lo lakhulumile ngaMkhwanazi lapha ku rally bebabe nayo nebantu be-EFF. So uyatiphendulela ke ku radio interview ukuthi kungani akhulume lento la ikhulumile. Uyasho ukuthi Mkhwanazi umkhulume kabi and umkhuluma kabi angekho yena, because uma kakhona okakhuluma ngaye kabi, but makangekho ukhuluma kabi uthi umkhulume kabi nangalesikhani adiyeli lifine efamily yakhe efamilini yakhe kunemgcwabo uMkhwanazi wakhuluma akabi ngaye. Uyasho futhi ukuthi uMkhwanazi usensitive, uyathanda nje kusukela abantu labangakoni lutho, uthi yena akasiso isigebengu, so ngeke azavumele kutreatwa as isigebengu. Inkulumo ya Julius Malema ayizange baphathe kahle abantu labaningi makakhuluma indzaba yokuthi Mkhwanazi akasingunkulu, ngeke size siworship Mkhwanazi, ngeke sive ngaMkhwanazi. Leso sikhathi we all know ukuthi abantu labaningi bayamfatela over kuMkhwanazi, so people are dragging him lapha enkundleni yokuxhumana bathi hayi kuMkhwanazi wethu, bathi hayi kuMkhwanazi wethu, including ona ma-members e-EFF nabo bebamjikele kuMalema basho ukuthi hayibo so uthini manje sokhuluma ngaMkhwanazi. Do comment your thoughts down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. We understand our Ngazelo Yamalema. Next time, I'm signing out. Goodbye.